Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of our Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. And for the first time in this entire career mode, you can see right there in front of us that we have qualified for the Champions League third qualifying stage. We defeated San Giovanni in the first round, and then it's amazing because I was so pessimistic about that game against Red Bull Salzburg, yet we managed to pull it off with a 2-1 win away from home at Red Bull as well. It was absolutely incredible. Now we're here and we have Dunfirmaline, who I actually think might be an easier side than Red Bull Salzburg. I don't know. I don't honestly know. But one thing I have been looking at is if we go into this third qualifying stage, if we then go to rules, qualification, loser qualifies for the Europa Cup first round. Now I don't actually know what that means, because if we go to the Euro Cup and we look at rounds, there is no first round. I'm imagining they're also on their third qualifying round now, I would imagine. Is that correct? Yeah, so they're also on their third qualifying round. So, after the third qualifying round, there's a playoff. And then there's the group stage. So if we lose... Are we into the group stage of the Europa League if we lose this game? It'd be amazing if we were. It'd be amazing if we were. And look how much money there is. You don't get any money for losing, but you get money for winning and drawing games. I don't think we would win or draw any games, to be honest. We don't reach the minimum stadium capacity, which is a bit of a problem, and that might be one thing to help us out to get a new stadium built. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, because I'm not 100% sure on this one. I really ain't. Obviously, we're going to try and win and get through to the next, which will be the playoffs, but I don't think we'll get into the Champions League group stage. I think it's still a bit early for that, really. But if we do lose and we go to the Europa League, then into the Europa League group stage, I'll be very happy. Of course, they do have Jack Wilshere, but he's ineligible to play, so we're not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. So let's pop straight into that first match now against Dunfermline and just see how we get on. We're away first as well, which might be helpful if we can get an away goal and come back and defend it. And here we are. And as you can see, according to the odds, again, we're not completely out of this one. We're a bit less favourites than what we were last time, but still, we might be able to pull some off. You never know. We've got Chris Morgan as our main man. Dunfermline have Will Keane, who's a former Manchester United player, I believe. Wow, his stats look pretty good, don't they? Yeah, former Man United player. His stats look very good. So, yeah, let's get into this match and see how we get on. We are sticking to this more defensive sort of double triangle formation, I suppose I'm going to call it. They're going 4-4-2, they're going. Who else they got? Anyone interesting? Nobody that jumps out at me apart from Will Keane. Nobody big named on the bench. We're quite a few years into this now, so quite a few players are probably generated. We've got Bruno Ramito in goal now, 22 years of age. He is wanted now by Crew, so we might be able to get some money for him. He has got a £1 million release fee, which I'd accept £1 million. I don't really want to accept it, but I would. Jared Murphy on the left-hand side. Well, I've got no choice to accept it, have I? Pretty much an ever-present now, really, for in our left-hand side. He's played 58 games for us now in a space of a few years, so he's really looking strong. We've got Jared Madison alongside him. Good American centre-backs. Slowly developing. He played 13 games for us last season, so he's pushing on. Obef Patiño, another player we brought in last season. A very good young Colombian player who seems to be progressing quite well. Right back we have Jamie Wildman as normal again. I'm trying to bring some more wing backs in over the next few weeks before the season starts, so keep an eye out for that, just to try and add a little bit of competition down them sides. We've got Chris Morgan, our absolute rock in the midfield, one of my favourite players in this game now, and just fantastic in every single case. He's 2 caps for Australia now as well. A real rock for us. We've got Marlon Manning, a player we've had for a good few years now as well. 45 caps for the Montserrat national side, and he's also wanted by Wolverhampton Wanderers, but they'll have to pay the money for him again. In that central midfield spot we have Anders Broger, a player we brought at the age of 19, and he's just grown and becoming one of the top players in our team. He's wanted by nearly every single Danish side at the moment. And again, they're going to have to pay the money if they want him. He's locked in for another couple of years on this contract. Down the left-hand side we have Finn Baird, who's getting better and better as well. Just a case of just keep playing him and seeing just how much his stats can grow. On the other hand side we have just our talisman, Serge Tundi, a player who I tried to buy for years upon years. Finally managed to get him in last season, and he seems to be really paying it off now. 5 caps for the Cameroonian national side. And then up front, talking of Cameroon, we have Frank Banning, a player that I've not played a lot of recently, but he's unhappy at not playing first team football But just looking at his stats, I don't know why he's not playing more games for us, because he has some very, very good stats in all the right places for a striker. And he's worth 11k as well, so he's probably one of our best players. So let's go in for it. Let's see how we get on here against Dunfirmaline. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer actually to lose. If we're going to go into the Europa League group stage, I might actually prefer to lose this one. I know it sounds stupid, but you've got a great opportunity to show all the pundits that have been backing you up. Yeah, whatever. Let's say we believe in you. More believing in you. And more believing. Everyone's green. Well, apart from a couple of players. And let's go. Let's go. I don't know whether we should go for counter-attacking or... I think we're just going to go for standard to start things off, because when we were counter-attacking against Red Bull, it really held us back, I think. When we went to standard, that's when the match started to open up a bit more for us. And it looks like we're doing pretty well straight from the kickoff. We're on the attack. Etundi gets the ball. There's the cross. Oh, blimey. Blimey. That was close. It's gone out for a corner. And we are showing straight away just what we can do. Now, the best thing about this season is even if we do get knocked out here and there is nothing else for us, our reputation should boost up quite a lot. And with the extra money we got from the recent takeover, we should be able to start to look at purchasing a higher level of player, which would be fantastic. Because I found quite a few free transfers that are absolutely fantastic for us, and they just won't come in because we're not high enough reputation for them. So that's one of the things that I want to try and improve as we go on. But so far we're looking pretty good here. Once again, 2 shots to their 1. We've had the majority of possession as well, and we're 16 minutes in. If we could walk away here with a lead, that'd be incredible. We'd have to defend that lead at home, of course. Now the interesting thing is, I don't know if you saw that with the Europa League earlier on, that you have to have a stadium at 8,000. So I don't know whether we'd have to play some of our games across in Portugal or Spain maybe. There's another highlight, half an hour in, and we've got another highlight here. Morgan. Back to Jared Murphy. Across to Broga. Plays it into Baird, who sees Frank Banning. We've scored! Frank Banning scores! We've got the away goal! Yes! Get in, Frank Banning! Wasn't sure whether to play him or not, but he was unhappy. And just look, he's repaid it straight away with that goal. Oh, wow. Great bit of play there. Finn Baird saw the little ball through to Banning, and Banning poking it past the goalkeeper, and we are leading 1-0 here. This season could end up just becoming better and better and better, you know. I'm absolutely amazed by how well this is going so far. We should be being beaten by these teams. If you look at some of the teams we've lost to in the last few years in the Champions League, teams that we could have beaten, and this year all of a sudden we are doing better than we ever have done, I think. The team we have at the moment seems to be just so strong, and I continue to add to it, but I'm adding more potential players that obviously I know the way the game is going to work for us now. We're paying a lot of wages. We're at a pretty hefty deficit every single season, so we need to continue to bring in players and possibly sell them on for a profit as well. That's the big thing we need to do to keep the thing going for now, until we can get to a point where we're qualifying for the Champions League and we're getting a lot of prize money, and that will keep us going every season, which I think we can do as well. But at the moment, we're looking pretty damn good. I'm liking this. And if we can get our reputation back up to a point where our players have values again, because that happened last season. We had values, our players. Our best striker, who hasn't played at all yet this season, he was up at nearly £200,000 his value. And then all of a sudden, overnight, it just dropped to about 5,000. And that was absolutely gutting. So hopefully we're going to get our reputation back up to that is back into effect. Because that really helps us out then when teams come in to try and buy our players. If they have to give us a decent amount of money. At the moment, our players are like, they're valued. Some of them, like Broga, for example, is valued at £500. Yet, if we get bids, we've had bids so far this season of like 60 or 70,000, which is, don't get me wrong, that's 120 times more his value, but it's just not worth it for me. I think we should be going higher. I think we should be aiming higher than that. Now, do we have anyone on the bench that could come on and just add a little bit more to this team? I'm just trying to think. I'm thinking maybe bringing on Bernal for Manning and then switching Broga and Bernal around. And then, do we want to change strikers potentially? No, I think Banning's having a good game. I think we'll keep it with Banning. Nick Harlton, by the way, just to point this out right now. Nick Harlton, who is English, has just taken Gibraltarian nationality. He has no England caps at all, so I'm assuming the next set of call-ups for the national side might see Nick Harlton get his debut for Gibraltar, and all of a sudden they've gained themselves a pretty damn good centre-back, a best centre-back they've probably ever had in history. Even though he's not fantastic and he doesn't get into our first team anymore, at the same time he's a lot better than the current centre-backs that Gibraltar have to offer, so I think he'll be a rock for them. And you know what? It looks like we might be able to hold this one off, you know. We've got 10 minutes left and we're winning 1-0 away from home. Oh, I may have spoke too early here. Dunfirmaline are on the attack and they've cut us apart there. Miller out on the right-hand side, going to get the cross in. Well, Bird's there, but still it comes back. It's come across. Fraser's in space. It's hit the post. Oh, we've got it out. Oh, Madison got it out there for a corner. And I'm surprised how many away fans we've taken with us. We don't normally take this many away fans to European games. Oh, God, we are struggling here, aren't we? I don't know whether to switch to counter-attacking. No, not control. Counter. We're going to go to counter-attacking football now and see if we can just hold on to this lead and potentially come out and score one as Patiño brings the ball out. And he has got so much space here. He is our centre-back, though. I'm a little bit worried about him being so far forward. But now Atundi's on the ball. That's the guy you want to have on the ball. Bernal. Oh, it's been cut out by Miller. That's a bit of a shame. Bit of a shame. We could have pulled him apart there and got a second goal. That would have been incredible. Oh, Bernal gets the ball back and Atundi gets it now. Mate, if we could score... Oh, Banning's over the top. He's passed... Oh, I knew he was offside. I knew he was offside, but I didn't want to say it just in case the linesman heard me. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? But that sounds absolutely terribly stupid. Come on, just hold on now. Hold on. If we can win 1-0 away at Dunfermline... I don't know if going into the playoffs in the Champions League would really help us out too much, because I don't know what happens. If you lose in the playoff, do you go straight into the group stage of the Europa League? I hope so. Either way, that's my aim now, is to try and get into that group stage of the Champions League, the Europa League, because just being in that group stage is going to get us so much money in prize money and things and like that. And there we go, a 1-0 win away from home in the first leg. Oh, Atundi's injured. That was a great result, lads. Absolutely fantastic. If we can hold on, if we can get a draw at home to Dunfermline, we're going through to the Champions League playoffs. Oh my God. I can't believe we just pulled that off. Could not believe we just pulled that off. So, let's panic and get into the second leg, eh? And there we go. That's quite a lot of money to be investing. That's £7.5 million to upgrade the club's youth facilities, which I'm very happy about because, as you've probably seen in this game, I like to use a lot of youth players as we can. My only worry is, does that mean that money's come out of our bank balance? But no, our overall balance is still quite high. So they've actually invested the £7.5 million into the club. So we're getting this for free essentially then. That's pretty nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's going to take... so it's going to be completed on the 20th of August. So it's going to be completed very, very quickly as well. And I wonder if that's going to help our young players develop, and obviously we might be able to get some better players through the youth academy this season as well. So one just quick thing to have a look at before we do go into that next match against Dunfermline in the second leg is I've been doing a bit of transfers in that week. As you can see, I've done quite a few transfers in that week in between the two legs. The first player we brought is a young player called Lima, who we are allowed to scout the entire world now, by the way. This new chairman's fantastic. He lets us do anything we want. He's allowing us to get a feeder club now, and he's allowing us to scout anywhere in the world. And we did scout this lad called Lima, and he come across as quite good in the scout report. Again, he doesn't look to be fantastic on here, but I think he's still going to be a very helpful player. Can play defensive midfield and centre-back as well, so he's going to be useful. I have just randomly found another group of 16-year-old Czech Republic players. I don't know how I keep finding these groups of players, but there's one of them, a 16-year-old striker. Put him down in the under-21s for now for a few years, see how he gets on. Elliot Watson, a young English striker, just to try and bolster up our ranks a little bit. He's been released from Chelsea, so that's the reason why I brought him. He can't be a bad player, surely. Another young Czech Republic player, Václav Drovák, yeah, something like that. He, again, has just been parked down the under-21s now for a couple of years, so he gets on. He's got decent stats, actually. He's got stats in the right sort of places. And the ones we want to see are at 8s and 9s, so if they can get into 10s, then he'll be a very good player for us. Pavel Svek, a Czech Republic goalkeeper as well, so he's going to be parked down the under-18s or under-21s in this country and see how he develops. Jason Kelly, A pretty good actual Irish centre-back, and we might see some of this lad this year. Of course, he's down the reserves at the moment just to try and gain match fitness, but he looks pretty good. I like this player. And the last player we brought was Chris Roberts. So, again, not fantastic. He's got pretty good potential according to our scouts and our coaches. Not very often our scouts and coaches actually agree on something, but he's come from Southampton and he's a left back, so it gives us a little bit more choice in that left back position with Jared Murphy, who unfortunately I've just found out is actually suspended for the second leg against Dunfirmaline. He's picked up 2 yellow cards, so that's a bit annoying. I don't know whether this guy is actually eligible because he's under the age of 21. We'll find out in a couple of minutes, I suppose. And here we go for that second leg. As you can see, Dunfermline are the favourites, but we're a little bit closer this time. We do have that away goal as well, so as long as we can, if we can keep this to a score draw, oh no, a score draw is not very good, is it? If we can keep this to a 0-0 draw, we go through. If we can win this game, we go through. So that's, we've got a little bit of an advantage with that away goal, but we need to make sure they don't score an away goal. That's going to be the big one. Team-wise, we are essentially exactly the same as the first leg, but we have had to bring in Matthew Baxter at left back because, like I said earlier, Jared Murphy is suspended due to picking up 2 yellow cards. Baxter's been with us now his entire career. He's actually not a bad player. He's decent. He's not a bad player. I think we might have to give him a few more games this season just to keep him. Well, he's not unhappy at all. He's happy being that sort of background player. But yeah, he could be a decent player for us. I don't think he's going to really grow much more to what he actually is now. But he's decent stats. And apart from that, it's exactly the same team that played in that first leg. They've kept the same team as well. Looks like. Yep, looks like the same team. Will Keane up front still. And, well, I was worried in the first leg, but we managed to pull off a 1-0 win. So why can't we do the same here? Why can't we do the same here? We've got full happiness, I suppose. A little bits of problems with Broga because he's had a couple of offers in for him recently, and I've not accepted them because they're not very high value. So I want to try and hold on to him. I have just negotiated one. I don't know if it will come back or not, but for £500,000 and 50% of any future sell-on fee. And do you want to go? I think we'll go back to standard because that seemed to work quite well in the first half, in the first leg even. Yeah, I've offered a 50% sort of sell-on fee, so anything they sell him for, we get 50% off. Because knowing that's generally quite a big amount of money, and as long as they don't release him, that works quite well for us. What are you doing, Patino and Remito? A little bit dodgy there at the back. Remember, all we've got to do, guys, is just hold on to this lead. And they've got an attack after 3 minutes. Free kick saved by Remito. Go on, Remito. Get it out on the break. Get out on the break. Part of me, because I did have a look at the playoffs in the Champions League a minute ago, and it worries me a little bit because, oh, Banning's in. Oh, saved. Oh, my God. It worries me a little bit because the losing in this third qualifying stage says you qualify for the Europa League first round. If you look at the playoffs in the Champions League, it doesn't say anything. Oh, Baxter, you just hit that straight against... It's one of the defenders, that's okay. We almost scored then. Again, if we can get an early goal here, we'd be sitting pretty. We would. Baird with the corner once again. It's headed clear. It's going to come out. Why is Frank Banning, our central striker, only striker on the pitch, playing on the edge of the penalty area when everyone else is in there? Etundi now on the ball. Gets in the box, tries the cross, and we are pummeling these guys. I don't know how this is happening. We defeated Red Bull Salzburg, and all of a sudden we're pummeling. I did say that Dunfermline are not quite as good as Red Bull Salzburg, I don't think. Just by looking at the players, but now they're coming forward. They're flooding forward. Will Keane is on the ball. We want to get him off that ball. Wildman takes him down. This is going to be a booking, I hope. It's not the last man back, surely. That's going to be a booking. Although the way the game's making him wait for it. A little bit worried. It's a yellow card. Yellow card 6 minutes in for our right back is not good, but it's a sensible tackle. In fairness, when you've got Will Keane coming towards you, that's a bit of a sensible tackle. So I don't know. Part of me wants to go back to counter attacking, but it never seems to work. It always just seems to be if we go on counter attacking, they just pummel us and pummel us and pummel us. By being on standard, it means we're actually trying to get the ball ourselves and trying to come forward. We've had 3 shots. Oh, Broga's injured. That may help us out with not having to sell him in the summer, don't get me wrong. So Philippe, who's not played much, or Bernal. Let's have a look at Philippe's stats. You know what, I think we're going to have a go at Philippe. Why not? Bernal's good, but I think Philippe, one of our new players we brought in this summer. See how he gets on here. He's going to have 70 minutes to show us exactly what he can do. He's going to get a lot of football this season, don't get me wrong, but I want to see exactly what he can do. We're 25 minutes in. We've had 5 shots. They've had 0 shots. We've had equal possession. So far, we're looking pretty good here to get through to this Champions League playoff. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. I think I'm sort of torn. I'm sure that if you lose in the Champions League playoff, you get put into the Europa League. Surely, there's no way not. It makes no sense to get a better result by getting knocked out in one round than the other. But then again, you never know. We might be able to. Oh, if we scraped through to the group stages of the Champions League, that'd be insane. Absolutely crazy. Our reputation. Oh my god! At half time, we've still got that 1-0 lead. Let's say we're pleased with your performance, and let's continue with the passionate telling them that we believe in them. Because at the moment, I have this full belief in my mind. We're doing so well. I'm just absolutely stunned by how this is all going. I really am. And at some point, we might have to try and hold on to this lead. Although at the moment, I don't really want to change it because at the moment it's working for us. We've had 7 shots. We've got the majority of the possession. We've only got to hold on for 40 minutes. If we can just not concede a goal for 40 minutes, it's our goal kick. We're 35 minutes now. Ramito hits it forward. Banning's there. He's headed it on to nobody. And Morgan is on the ball. Yes, Morgan is on the ball. To Philippe, who's not 100% match fit. That's the problem we've had at the moment. Champions League has always been a problem for us because our players have never quite been match fit. And I think actually being in the first qualifying stages, he has helped us out by having 2 games against San Giovanni to build our fitness up. It's made us a bit more competitive against some of the more difficult sides. And we want to get to a point now. If we can get our reputation up, we could buy some. Oh my god, Atundi's in. He scored! He scored! Oh my god! Serge Atundi scored! There's 35 minutes left and we have a 2-0 lead over Dunfirmaline in the Champions League 3rd qualifying stage. And the away goal as well. So even if they... Well, we can't go to extra time now. They have to score twice now in the next 35 minutes to take us out. And at the moment, the way the game is looking, 9 shots, 3 on target. They're 2, whatever, 4 shots now. Half an hour left. We just need to hold on, guys. Hold on. Right now, I'm thinking advanced tactics. Let's bring Baird and Atundi back slightly. Make them a bit more defensive, helping out down them little wings. There's a highlight again. Wildman plays the ball into Philippe. Across to Marlon Manning. To Morgan. I'll tell you what, we're going to go so far up the coefficient this season. Our club ranking in UEFA is going to fly up. Morgan to Philippe. Oh my god, guys, if we can put another goal on top of this. Philippe plays it out to Baxter. The only Gibraltarian player on the pitch. It's not a very good ball. It's not a very good ball. Baird misses it. And all of a sudden they have the counter-attack. Oh, it's a good one over the top. James is on the ball. Come on, take it off him. Good save, Bruno Ramito. So 25 minutes? Yeah, it's 25 minutes now to hold on. We can do this. We can do it. Right now, Atundi looks to be struggling. Do we have anyone on the bench that might be able to come on and help people out here? We really don't, do we? We've got a striker. We've got 2 strikers. Well, we've got 2 strikers on the bench and we've only got 1 on the pitch. That's stupid, isn't it, really? I suppose if we needed to go all out attack. We could take off Wildman and bring on... I really don't want to do that, though. I think we're going to leave it as it is for now. Because there's no one on the bench, really, that can change this. 15 minutes to not concede 2 goals. So let's go back to counter-attacking football. Let's just hold on now for the last 10 minutes and go through to the playoffs in the Champions League. Oh my god. I was not expecting that this season at all. I thought we were starting to struggle. I really did. I thought we were going a bit backwards, if anything. And now all of a sudden we've got through the... We haven't just got through the second qualifying stage for the first time. We've got through the 3rd qualifying stage on first attempt. As they have a corner, but there's only 20 seconds left and you've got to score twice. It's headed clear by Philippe. To Obeth Patino, heads it to Sigar. Across to Downing. Is that Stuart Downing? No, it can't be. There's Paul Downing. Plays it out wide to Cooper. There's the cross. It's bounced off their guy in for a goal kick, and that's surely it. Blow the whistle. Oh, we've done it. We've actually done it on first attempt. Oh my god. I could not believe what has just happened. I really could not. Oh my word. That is incredible. That is, I'm just so happy with that. Let's try and make them all happy again. We're impressed with everyone. Banning got the assist as well. He's been very good, Banning, since we brought him in. And I'll tell you what, let's continue on. Let's go and see who we're going to get in the playoffs draw, because this could be make or break. If we get a lucky draw, you never know what could happen. If we get a lucky draw, oh, look at some of these teams. Lek, Ludogorets, Maribor's in there as well. There's Victoria Pleasant. There's some teams in here we could beat, you know. There really is. So let's go and have a look and see who we're going to get in the playoffs. And here we go. Oh my god, we're seeded. How on earth are we seeded? We're actually seeded. We're seeded, which means we're going to miss out Dynamo, Bâle or Basel, Steaua Bucharest, and Victoria Pleasant. We can get Lek, Malmo, Maribor, Bate, or Ludogorets. All these teams are tricky. They really are. We've got, wow, look at our seeding score. Wow. I don't know who I'd rather have. Maribor, I seem to think we could beat several times over the last few years. Lek Poznan we haven't faced off against yet. Malmo we faced off against the first year. I think either way, we're going to have a decent chance here of getting through. And if we get through, we go to the Champions League group stage. Oh my word. You get into the Champions League group stage, you get like £8 million for doing nothing. So let's go automatic draw. Come on. Victoria Plitzen. Face Ludogorets. We're not going to get Ludogorets. Bate. Get Steaua. Bâle. Get Maribor. Europa Point gets Malmo. Are we actually fighting then against Malmo for a place in the Champions League group stage? Because if we are, Malmo are okay. I don't know how good Malmo are. They've got a much higher reputation than we have. But player-wise, they've got this guy here who's worth 1.1 million, who's very good. But apart from him, they've got one player there who's a star. But then apart from him, they're a little bit weaker, aren't they? They tend to drop down a little bit. We might just have a chance of pulling this one off, you know. We might just have a chance of pulling this one off. But of course, we're going to have to do that in the next episode. We've got 2 matches against Malmo coming. I could not believe we're actually doing this. I really could not believe it. We actually beat Dunfirmaline home and away 1-0. We've not lost a leg yet. That's how amazing it's been. We even drew to San Giovanni in the second leg of the first round, and that's me thinking, God, we're going to be awful this year. And then to pull off a 0-0 draw, then a 2-1 win away from home against Red Bull Salzburg. Now 2 1-0 wins home and away against Dunfermline. This is incredible. This is just unprecedented. And you know what? I'm going into... I mean, we're favourites to beat Malmo. We're actually favourites to beat them. Granted, Andres Broga's going to be out, but still, you know, we can do this. We can do it. But of course, you're going to have to find out in a couple of days' time if we do or not. So be sure to come back for that one. Of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that like button, because this has been incredible, the start to the season. I can't believe what has happened for us. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well, because you're not going to want to miss what happens over the next few days. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.